Assalamu alaikum, good morning. Are you listening, me students? Reply, please. Are you listening, me students? Reply, please. Write in the chat box whether you are listening me or not. I'm waiting for some other students to join me in the class. After that, I will start my today's lecture. I want to inform you that your second prelims will be started from 14th of June. That is from Monday, coming Monday. So please prepare for all the subjects. And the schedule for the second prelims examinations will be sharing with you soon on your WhatsApp as well as on the Google Classroom. Prepare for that. You know that during these online classes, we are doing the revision of different topics. We are doing the revision of narrations. We have done the rules and the definitions and some of the rules related to the change in the tenses and change in the pronouns. I have already given you the list for some changes of time and place as well as some other rules. I have already given you in the form of list in previous lectures. These lectures are uploaded on Google Classroom so that you can see them again and again. And if you have got any problem or if anything is unclear, you can clear it from there. I will also upload some of the assignments during this week, and these assignments are for your practice. So please do attempt them in your language and literature journals, whatever assignment I will give you. I've already uploaded the assignment yesterday. For this week, there will be 2 more assignments. I will upload according to the schedule given. You all know about the schedule, and you know that these online classes will be continued till Friday. After that, from Monday, your prelims will be started. So you should be there on time at 11 o'clock daily till Friday. Okay. Now I'm going to start my today's lecture. This is English language lecture. I'm Mrs. Afshin Imran. This is lecture number 70. We are doing the revision of narrations, and this is the part 3. And we are doing the examples today. We have done the rules in previous lectures. Now I'm giving you some of the examples for different kinds of sentences. You all know that when we do the narrations, it means when we do the conversion of direct speech into indirect speech, we have different kinds of sentences given in direct speech. And according to the rules, we have to convert them into indirect speech. Um, and some rules are different for different kinds of sentences. So please listen to me very carefully. I need your full concentration. Now, first of all, we are discussing the assertive sentences. Assertive sentences means the sentences which give the positive meaning. Okay. So in these sentences, we are basically depending upon the tenses, and you should know the structure of all tenses so that it will be easier for you to convert direct speech into indirect speech. The first one is present indefinite tense. which changes into past indefinite tense. It means you should know the structure for both the tenses. You should know that for present indefinite tense, we use first form of verb with s or es sometimes for the third person singular, and for past indefinite tense, we always use the second form of verb. Now, the example which I'm showing you here is she said, comma, I take a cup of tea, full stop. Now you can see that the first form of verb is given take here, which shows that it is a present indefinite tense. Now remember that the actual words of the speaker which are given in the direct speech, they must enclose inside the inverted commas. Here you can see that the whole sentence is enclosed within the inverted comma, and the full stop at the end of the sentence is inside the inverted comma. So you should be very careful about these punctuation marks, that full stop must be there inside the inverted comma. If there is an interrogative sentence, then question mark must be inside the inverted comma. And if there is an exclamatory sentence, there must be an exclamation mark within the inverted comma. And this comma is actually a separator, which is separating the reporting verb side and the reported speech. Okay. Now this said is the reporting verb, and when it is in the past tense, we do the changes. Otherwise, we do not change any of the tense. So you should know that it is in the past tense form, so we do the changes. And when we do the conversion of direct and indirect speech, then we must remove these inverted commas and comma. Now for indirect speech, we first copy the subject. You know that the subject pronoun never changes, so we copy it. Walaikum assalam, Nabil. Walaikum assalam, all of you. And please do concentration on the lecture. Now the subject pronoun has been copied, said is changed to told, and comma is removed and replaced by that. Then I have told you that first person always depends on the subjective pronoun. So we change I into she because the speaker is actually a lady, and then we convert the first form of verb into the second form, take into took. A cup of tea, which is the object part, it remains same, it never changes. Okay, and full stop must be placed at the end. If you are not placing the punctuation marks properly, then there will be a deduction of your marks from the sentences. So please be very careful about that. Now the sentence becomes, she told that she took a cup of tea. Now I'm showing you another example, which is also an assertive sentence in which present continuous tense changes into past continuous tense. You all know that for continuous tenses, we are using the ing form of verb, and this is called the fourth form or present participle form of verb. And for present continuous tense, we have the helping verbs is, am, are, and for past continuous tense, we have the helping verbs was and were, according to the number of subject which is given here, whether it is singular or plural. Now the example is, she said to her, comma, you are not going to party today, full stop. Here you can see that the are not going, it is showing the negative meaning. In assertive sentences, we can use the positive as well as the negative meaning sentences, but we should remember about the helping verb and the form of verb, which should be very proper. Now she said to her, she is the subjective pronoun, so it is copied here, and said to is changed into told her, which is the object pronoun, objective pronoun. It is also copied here. Then we remove the comma and replace it with that. Then you can see the sentence starts with the second person, you. So second person always depends on the objective pronoun. So you know that her is used for female person, so we convert you into she. Then are not going, which is the identification of present continuous tense here, it will be changed into was not going, okay, to become past continuous tense. To party today, to party is the object. Today has to be changed into that day. If you remember, I have told you the changes in the time as well. When we write today, we are not having any gap between to and day, but when we are writing that day, there must be a gap between that and day. You should be very careful about all these points. Now the sentence becomes, she told her that she was not going to party that day. Now we have another sentence which is also an assertive sentence in which present perfect tense changes into past perfect tense. Okay, you all know that for perfect tenses we always use the third form of verb, and for present perfect tense we have two helping verbs, has or have. These are the two options, and for past perfect tense we have only one helping verb, that is had. Now the sentence which is showing here in the form of example is, in the direct speech, he said to my brother, comma, you have completed the project, full stop. Now the subjective pronoun which never changes, remember it is copied here. Said to has to be changed into told. My brother, it is the objective pronoun, so it will not change. It is copied here. Then comma is removed and replaced with that. You, which is the second person pronoun, it depends on the objective pronoun, so it is about the male person, so we convert it into he. Then have completed has been changed into had completed. The project, which is the object here, it remains same. Now we have another assertive sentence. You know that we are doing tenses in assertive sentences. The conversion of tenses, present perfect continuous tense changes into past perfect continuous tense. And you all know that for perfect continuous tenses, we have we are always using the fourth form of verb, present participle form of verb, that is ing form. And for perfect continuous, we have the helping verb has been, okay, or have been. We have two options here for present perfect tense, present perfect continuous tense. And when it changes into past perfect continuous tense, we have the option here, no option, only one option is here, that we are using had been as a helping verb with the fourth form of verb. Okay, so you should remember, if you are uh, perfect in tenses, then when you can easily do the narrations. Now the example for the direct speech, she said to her sister, comma, I have been learning a poem since morning. Actually, we are using, or we are mentioning the time period here, mostly in the case of present perfect continuous tense or past perfect continuous tense. In all the perfect continuous tenses, we are mostly mentioning the time limit or time duration. So when we change it into indirect speech, we copy the subjective pronoun first, she, then said to is changed into told. Her sister, which is the objective pronoun, it remains same. Then comma is replaced, and it is comma is replaced by that, which is a connector here. Then you can see that this sentence start with I. I is related to the first person, so it is related to the subject pronoun here, and it is she. It means it has to be changed into she because it is about the lady. Now have been learning has been changed into had been learning. A poem since morning, it is the object part of the sentence, so it remains same. Okay, you should be very careful about all these points which I'm telling you, please. Okay, so do concentrate on the points which I'm telling you again and again. The smaller points you should keep in mind, so that there should be no problem in solving the direct speech and converting the direct speech into indirect speech. Now we have some more assertive sentences from the past tense series. We have done all four tenses of present tense, for all four subtypes of present tenses. Now we are coming to past tenses. You should remember that past indefinite tense changes into past perfect tense. Okay, it means the second form of verb which we are using in past indefinite tense, it has to be changed into third form of verb with a helping verb here had. Now the example is direct speech. He said to me, comma, he baked a cake for me. Full stop. You can see the second form of verb, which is the identification point of past indefinite tense. So we change it into the way that we copy the subjective pronoun here. Said to is changed into told. Me, it is the objective pronoun, so it has to be copied. Then comma is removed and replaced with that. Then he is the actually the third person singular. I have already told you in the beginning when I was telling you the rules that third person never changes. We copy it directly. Okay. Then for the perfect past perfect tense, we have added the helping verb had with the third form of they here. You can see that in the first sentence, we have written the second form, but in the second sentence, that indirect speech, I have written the third form. A cake for me, it remains same because it is the object part of the sentence. Now we have another sentence. Past continuous tense changes into past perfect continuous tense. Example is here. You know that past continuous tense means helping verb was and verb plus ing form of the verb, that is fourth form. And for past perfect continuous tense, we have the helping verb had been with the fourth form of verb. Okay, ing form. So you should be very careful about the structure of the tenses. We have the sentence, he said to her, comma, you were singing a beautiful song. That is past continuous tense, were singing. He is copied here because it is a subjective pronoun. Said to is changed into told. Her, which is the objective pronoun, it has to be copied here. Then comma is removed in and replaced with that. You, which is the second person, it is related to the objective pronoun. So it her means a lady. So it has to be changed into she. Were singing has to be changed into had been singing because we are changing it into past perfect continuous tense. A beautiful song, which is the object, it remains same. Now we have another example, another sentence from assertive type, past perfect tense, which remains past perfect tense. Remember that we are changing the other part of the sentence, but we are not changing the tense. Okay, you should be very careful about that. Past perfect tense remains as it is. Now the example is, she said to us, comma, I had not met the guest. Full stop. I had not met, had met, past perfect tense, not is here, which is showing the negative meaning. Met is the third form here. Okay, remember that because we have written the perfect tense. Now the indirect speech, she told us. She is copied here because it is the subjective pronoun. Said to is changed into told. Us, which is the objective pronoun, it remains same. Then comma is replaced with that. She, I, first person pronoun, so it is related to the subjective pronoun. It becomes she. Had not met because it remains same, so it has to be same. The guest, which is the object part of the sentence, it remains same with the full stop. Now remember, the sentence becomes, she told us that she had not met the guest. But you should, one more thing you should remember, that comma and inverted commas must be removed from the direct speech sentences. Now we have another sentence is past perfect continuous tense, which remains past perfect continuous tense. Now past perfect continuous tense, you all know that it remains past perfect continuous tense. It means had been with the fourth form of verb remains same. And an example is here. From the direct speech, they said to me, we had been living here for 5 years. I have told you for perfect continuous tenses, we always mention the time duration and the time limit Here you can see that it has been written in the at the last or at the end of the sentence for 5 years, which is actually the time duration. They said to me, they, it is the subjective pronoun, it remains same. Said to is changed into told. Me is the objective pronoun, it remains same. That comma is removed and replaced with that. We, it is the first person pronoun, so it has to be related with the subjective pronoun. Here we have written they, so they remains, they, we has to be changed into they. Had been living remains same because it is past perfect continuous tense, which never changes here. But you can see that I have changed, I have do a little change here, that here has to be changed into there. Okay, if you remember that I have mentioned the change in the places when we were discussing the rules. For 5 years, it remains same because the time duration never changes. I hope you have understood till here. The sentence becomes, they told me that they had been living there for 5 years. I hope you have understood till here. If you have not understood anything, please ask me in the chat box. I will give you some time after the end of my lecture. So I'm showing you some more sentences in which we are discussing about the future tenses. These are also assertive sentences because assertive sentences gives positive as well as negative meanings. Now, future indefinite tense changes into conditional sentence. Conditional sentence means when we are using the modal verb. Okay, you should remember that when we are using the modal verb, it becomes the conditional sentence. And future indefinite means you are using will with the first form of verb. So will becomes would. When we are changing it into conditional sentence, it means will become would. Now, an example is here. They said, comma, we will discuss this matter tomorrow. Full stop. Now, you can see that it is the future indefinite tense. It means helping verb will is here with the first form of verb discuss. Now, they is actually the subjective pronoun, so we copy it. We do not change it. Remember this thing. Said has to be changed into told. Then comma is replaced and removed, replaced by that. We, which is the first person, so it depends on the subjective pronoun. It changes into they. Will is changed into would. Will is changed into would because we have to make the changes and change the future indefinite tense into the conditional sentence. So in conditional sentences, we use the word would, which is a modal verb. And when we use the modal verb in the second form, that is would, we always use the first form of verb. Remember that thing, because there is a rule in the English language that we do not use two second forms together. Remember this thing. This is the main point here. So will is converted into would and discuss is the first form of verb. So we copy it. This has to be changed into that. Matter has to be copied because it is the object. And tomorrow, which is the time, you know that this has to be changed tomorrow into the next day. Remember, tomorrow can also be changed into the following day. Both are correct. We can write the next day as well as we can write the following day. Both are correct. Now the sentence becomes, they told that they would discuss that matter the next day. Now another example which I am showing you here about future indefinite tense, in which I have used the helping verb shall. Shall is obsolete now, but sometimes it can be given, so that I'm showing you an example of that so that you will be able to do the changes if it comes in your examination. Okay, future indefinite tense changes into conditional sentence in which the modal verb shall has to be changed into should. Okay, you should be very careful that when shall is changed into should, you must use the first form of verb. Now the sentence is, they said, comma, we shall participate in the contest, full stop. You know that the actual words of the speaker must be placed in the inverted commas, but when we change it into indirect speech, we remove those inverted commas. Remember to remove the inverted commas, otherwise your sentence will be wrong. Now the subjective pronoun, which is they, it is copied here, said has to be changed into told, then comma is removed and replaced with that. Then we, which is the first person, it is related to the subject pronoun, subjective pronoun, so it has to be become they. Shall is converted into should. Participate remains participate because it is the first form of verb and we always use the first form with the modal verb. So we use participate, the first form with should. In the context, it is the object part of the sentence which remains. Okay. Now the sentence becomes, they told that they should participate in the contest. Now I want to show you some of the examples for the modal verbs here. I have given you two modal verbs example, will and shall, which changes into would and should, but they are also included in the example of future indefinite tense. So I have shown you those examples under the heading of future indefinite tenses, but I am showing you some more examples of modal verbs, but these do not come under the heading of future indefinite tense. There is another modal verb, can, which changes into could. Okay. Now the example is, he said, I can speak English fluently. Yes, full stop. Now you know that I have told you that can is the helping verb, or you can say modal verb, which is used to show the abilities. Okay. So here you can see the example is here, I can speak English fluently. This is the ability of a person. So when we change it into indirect speech, we copy the subject he. Then said is changed into told. Comma is replaced and removed and replaced with that. I, which is the first person, it is related to the subjective pronoun, so it has to become he. Then can is changed into could. Speak, the first form of verb, it remains same because of the modal verb. English fluently, the object part of the sentence, it remains same. The sentence becomes, he told that he could speak English fluently, full stop. Now there is another assertive sentence, another modal verb which I have shown here. The example, may changes into might. May is the modal verb which is used to show the abilities. It is used to show the to ask the permission and to pray something. Also, it has to be written in some of the sentences when there is a doubt, or when there is a doubtful condition. Now she said, comma, I may reach the office. You can see that that is the doubtful condition given here, that the person may reach or may not reach the office. She said, I may reach the office. The subject is remains same. She said is changed into told. Comma is removed and replaced with that. I, which is the first person, it is related to the first person subjective pronoun. So she, it has to be changed into she. Then may is changed into might. Then reach, which is the first form of verb, it remains same. The office, which is the object pronoun, the office is same, or it has to be copied here. The subject becomes, she told that she might reach the office, full stop. Now, this is all about the assertive sentences. I have told you that in assertive sentences, we are basically discussing the uh, uh, tenses. We have all discussed about all the tenses, the changes in the tenses from direct to indirect speech, and I have shown you many of the examples. So now we come to the universal truth sentences. You all know that universal truth means the things or the quotes given in the universal truth sentences. It means the facts which can never change. It means we just do the changes in the reporting verb side and not do any changes in the reported speech. Okay, because these are the facts which can never change. I have written here universal truth does not change. So you should be very careful that do not change the tense, do not change the helping verb, do not change any other thing in the part of the sentence where universal truth has been written. That means the actual words of the speaker. Now the direct speech is the teacher said, comma, honesty is the best policy, full stop. This is a universal truth. This is a fact which can never change. So when we do the change in the indirect speech, we just do small changes in the reporting verb side. The teacher, which is the subjective pronoun here, it remains same. Said is changed into told, and comma is removed and replaced with that. We do a little change here only. We have to copy honesty is the best policy as it is. But just the change is here that we write it the first word of the sentence with a small letter. Even if there is a proper noun, we do not change the capital letter into small one. But if there is a simple noun or common noun, we change the capital letter into the smaller one. Remember this thing, only proper nouns can be written with the capital letters. The teacher told that honesty is the best policy. Now, another sentence which I'm showing you here, it is also a universal truth sentence. So universal truth does not change. The example here is that in the direct speech, the grandfather said, comma, time is money, full stop. This is the fact. So you know that when we write the actual words of the speaker in the inverted commas, we start with the capital letter. So we just change this capital letter into the smaller one. Otherwise, we do not change the actual words of the speaker. We just do the changes in the reporting verb. The grandfather, which is the subjective pronoun, it remains same. Sad is changed into told, and comma is removed and replaced with that. Then we copy time is money with a small t here. The grandfather told that time is money. Now there is another universal truth sentence which I'm showing you here. The direct speech sentence is the grandmother said, comma, health is wealth. You see that full stop is inside the inverted comma and H is capital. When we start the universal truth or any sentence, any actual words of the speaker, we start with the capital letter. But you know that nothing is the proper noun here, so we change it into the smaller one here. The grandmother, which is the subjective pronoun, we copied it. Said is changed into told, comma is removed and replaced with that. Health is wealth, we copy it with the smaller h here. And the full stop must be placed at the end of the sentence to show that the sentence has been completed. The sentence becomes the grandmother told that health is wealth, full stop. Now this, I hope you have understood everything very clearly. I have discussed here today assertive sentences in which we have discussed the conversion of different tenses from direct speech into indirect speech. You should remember all the structures of all tenses so that you will be able to do the convergence easily. Remember that universal truth does not change because these are the facts. Only the change is there. We can change only the first word of the sentence into the smaller word uh, because, but it should be remembered that if there is a proper noun somewhere in the sentence, we use the capital letter for the beginning of that word. You should be very careful for all of these things. Now, if you have got any question, you can ask me here. I'm giving you some time to ask me any question. If you have got any confusions about the topic which we have discussed previously or today's topic, as well as about your assignments, as well as about your examinations. I'm giving you some time, please ask me. Now I want to inform you that your second prelims will be starting from 14th of June, Monday, and your online classes will be continued till Friday. And on daily basis, the time is 11 o'clock, so you should be there on time. And I will upload the videos of the lectures on your Google Classroom, so go through those videos. And if you have got any confusion, so see them again and again. And there will be assignments uploaded for you also, so do attempt them. These are for your practice. We will share the schedule for your second prelims within 1 or 2 days till Friday. Prepared for that from the whole syllabus. You all know that everything can come here in your examinations. You all know that there will be 50 MCQs in your English paper. I'm telling you one more time that there will no overwriting is allowed, no cutting is allowed. Otherwise, we will mark it wrong. And do it very neatly and carefully, because only one attempt will be given, only one chance will be given to you. And there will be section B and section C. We will give you everything according to the model paper. So follow that model paper, which have I think which has also been shared with you previously. So follow the model paper and do prepare according to that. Anything which you want to ask, please ask me. If you have understood everything, please reply understood or not. We are doing the revision of different topics during the online classes. We are doing the revision of narrations during this week. We have done the rules, definitions, and explanations of different changes done during the conversion of direct speech into indirect speech. Today we have done the examples for the assertive sentences and universal truth sentences. In the upcoming classes, we will discuss about some more sentences, some more types of sentences in which different changes will be done for the conversion of direct speech into indirect speech. This is also called as direct narration or indirect narration. Same thing. Remember to change said into told, because it is a must here. Said to is also to change into told. Do not write told to. It is wrong. If it is given said in the direct speech, it has to be changed into told. And if it is given said to in the direct speech, it is also changed into told. Remember these points. Now, the time is over. I want to end my lecture here. Allah Hafiz.